about the rise of electric vehicles. So it drives the future of the transportation and where the change of the future of transportation and offering the clear mobility solution. So it is specifically one of the most transformative trends in the automotive industry. So whatever the rising of the EV vehicles, so it's specifically coming to the automotive industry. So automotive industry specifically the on-road vehicles, where all on-road vehicles will be termed as the automotive. And it is a drive by the combination of the environment concerns. So moreover, the vehicles, the cars, the buses, so which are driving on road where it should be a factor of environment conditions. So it should be like pollution free, the environment, whichever we are making the vehicles, and it have various factors like when we are manufacturing those automotive vehicles towards the environment conditions, it it varies the factors. So the varies of the factors will be generally towards the pollution, towards the policies that have given driven by the government, and it depends upon the country which they are using. So the first factor, it will be like the environmental concerns. So mostly here, the environmental concerns will be the first, and next will be the climate changes, because every country has some climate changes frequently every 2 months or 3 months. So the climate will be varied. Due to that, the pollution which it uh, coming from the vehicles, so that also should be controlled. But here, when you are driving your vehicles towards the battery moment, that time the vehicles should charge. So the charging is the first place where how the vehicles will be charged and how the charged batteries will be utilized. So that will be the next part. And coming to the environmental concerns and climate changes. So they will the first part here it will be derived as the first part is the reduction of the carbon dioxide. That is the first step. So where the carbon dioxide will be getting from the so that will be reduced. So the primary motivation behind the shift to the electrical ways, the need to combat the climate changes. And traditionally, internal combustion engines vehicles, like whatever the IC vehicles, internal combustion engine vehicles, so this significantly to the air pollution or greenhouse gas emission. And the EVs, which powered by the renewable energies. So that can be drastically reduce the emission, like the wind or solar energies. And it can be like anything that making the harm towards the environment. So that should be reduced. So that EV is coming into the boom, where the transportation and specifically on road or offshore, the pollution is getting more and more. It will be creating a problem towards the environment. So that is a one factor. So according to that, the international energy. So we have a specifically aims IEA. So that is the International Energy Agency. So that they will provide like how to reduce the world pollutions. So what is the engine standards you should follow, and what is specifically you need to reduce the pollution. So that will be counted by one of the society founders. And moreover, the pollution in urban areas. So many cities worldwide they are struggling with the air quality issues due to the vehicle emissions, and EV offers a solution to reduce the urban air pollution. So which is growing the public health issue because of the pollution. Even the peoples are getting affected, and the health issues are more. So based upon these health issues towards the pollution. That is the first factor will be considered. And the other part is the government policies, because once the environment is affected by the pollution, so the government should look over it, and they should take the necessary action. That is the government policies, what it will do and what are the regulations. So if the government, they need to make some steps, okay, how to avoid the pollution, how to control it. So they follow some strict emissions. So like it should have a minimum, like who are using the petrol or the diesel vehicles. So it should have a limited, and it should be serviced, and it should not emit more chemicals towards the vehicle. And next is the intensives. So if the vehicle is new, we have some subsidy. So and you have some discount. It is a part of a encouragement towards the people, where the people can, because of the intensives or subsidies, they can get some benefits and they will go with the new vehicle purchasing of this. And apart from that, uh, so the government will follow, like they should ban the old vehicles. So there is a ban. They should ban on the vehicles which are creating more harmful chemicals towards the outside. So that will be the IC, yeah, internal combustion engines. So some of the countries, especially Norway or UK countries, they started the banning of the IC vehicles um, from the customer and even the manufacturer. So so this is efficient, and some countries is they have, they instantly cannot stop it. So they targeted like from 2025, all the vehicles, no vehicle should be identified, the petrol or diesel, everything should come to the battery. So like that, instantly they made some data, and they will start work towards the vehicle building capabilities. And once if the government follows the policies and regulations, so it won't be effect. So like we need to work on the technologies. So whenever you have some technologies towards the battery, so that is a third point, like about the technology. So so technology and advancement, we can say. So this topic is about how the battery technology will be changing our daily needs and daily improvements towards the uh, productivity. And the next part will be the cost. So you cannot keep more cost compared to the previous IC engines, because IC engine it have some resale, but battery vehicles it will be a less resale, because of the battery lifespan will be very less due to the chemicals that present. It will be drying quickly, and the cost it should be always lower compared to the other IC engines. And moreover, the autonomous vehicles. So even the batteries, like it should drive the vehicle won't become won't. And moreover, it should need some connectivity also to know that where the charging and charging stations, and to know what is the battery health and condition. So whether the vehicle can drive for 100 kilometers or 150 kilometers, it should give information to the driver, so that the driver can take the necessary action, how can he drive his vehicle on the road. And next, consumer. So if you develop the technology, so the government follows some strict rules, and you the health getting affected. So that is other factors. But even the consumers should know. So the consumers should aware, like what need to be taken, and how the changes are happening in the future. So that is about increasing of the awareness towards the environment, towards the environment. We are creating a lot of pollution by using the petrol and diesel. So the consumer needs is going more and more. So like we should encourage to use them as a battery vehicle. So that should get awareness. So for that, the government already taken the information and providing the subsidies, who will purchase the vehicles, like you have a subsidy and you have some discount from the government. So like it will be a part of just a cashback informative. So that is about increasing the awareness. And moreover, so the increasing we need to we need to inform them that the performance towards the battery is going to be better, and it will give the good mileage compared to the petrol or the diesel which we use. So, and next part it will a long term. So everyone will expect and invest the money for the vehicles to purchase, but everyone feel it won't be a short run vehicles. So they will feel like a long run vehicle, and they need to ensure that the owner of the car or the vehicles who are going to manufacture, they should keep in the mind that how to increase the battery span, and the performance of the vehicle should be sufficient, and the service stations. So that is a first part, and the next part will be the expansion of charging infrastructure, like how the petrol stations are increasing day by day, so that increasing of the charging stations is essential, so where the people can charge the vehicles. So, and here the other part is like whether we need it as a home charging we can use, and moreover the public transportation way you can use, and we can use in office sections, office stations, areas. It is like specifically where the vehicles are traveling, so that areas it may increases the usage. And moreover, so the history of these EV vehicles, it started in 1823. So the engineer is the Jordan Patterson. So when they created some vehicles, so it will run with help of the motor. So it's not started now. It's just the older and older, where the other engineer 1830. So there was a inventor about uh, the non-rechargeable batteries, and further the introduction of the EV vehicles. So like the gasoline or powered cars has increased gradually, and this EV is specifically the electric vehicle. So here it is equipped with a rechargeable battery, because that can be store the energy, and it will be like a zero emission pollution towards the environment. It won't create much impact towards the environment. Only the thing is the customer who are purchasing the cars, he need to ensure that the battery quality and the lifespan. So based upon that, the scope will be increased, and some areas like towards the climate changes, whether heat or cold climates or ice climates like UK or Sweden, such kind of countries, it will be have a snow. So like where the battery cars can walk, and it cannot be driven. So that can be recognized and work. And what are the key drivers behind the EV revolution? So the first factor is environment conditions. So the pollution, we need to think about the pollution is the first factor. So the EV vehicle, it should not give the pollution, and it should reduce the carbon in the environment. So where the people health can be improved. And next about the government policies and incentives, as discussed, like the who are driving the taxes, and who are using the public transports regularly, they should, if they are aware about that bad ICs or IC engines, petrols or diesels are creating a problem, so they can work towards the battery. Then the regular way they use battery, so it won't create much harm to the air pollution. So, and even they get some benefits towards the environment, towards the purchasing, and even they will get some intense use when they use for longer, and like 1 year or 2 years. So the battery replacement or such things will be allowed. And the advancement in a battery technology, it's about how the battery, what are the types of battery, and which type of battery is a long run, which is a charging will be good and better. And moreover, like what about the it have different variants towards the battery, so which should be a lightweight, and it's a good efficiency and a good performance. So that will be considered, that is advancement in the battery technology, and increasing of the infrastructure. So this is a one factor like where the charging stations is needed every area, and even the person like a vehicle who will drive on the roads, so he should know where the vehicle stations will be, and whenever it is near to, and that can be identified the stations, and he can go and charge the vehicles before drying the complete battery, and the declining of the cost of EVs. So uh, every EV vehicle manufacturers, so they should think about the cost, like how that will affect for the customers, and they should work. That is about the declining of the cost of EVs. And what are the type of EV vehicles? So that is a battery electric vehicles. So that is a fully electric vehicle where there is no IC engines like petrol or diesel. It won't be have, just it will run with a battery vehicle. So generally how it will be, so like it will be the complete car, like where it it will have some batteries on the bottom and just it with the on surface. So the steering here it will be, and parallelly you have some inverters. So that inverters makes the motor to run, and so like it, all the wheels it have the some braking conditions, and just it will be it won't have other type of engines, just it is a battery and inverters will be there. So the plug in and plug out of charging of the vehicle is be very easier, and the other part is the plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. So it is a combination of both the battery and the charging plus the petrol or diesel IC engine. It is a both, like it have rechargeable plus engine. So it will run IC engine. Here we don't have IC engine in BEV, so just we don't have, and here we have, and additionally we have charging. So the charging make here, and but here we don't have IC, but it have a charging. So that's how the first to categorized of the type of electric vehicle. So and next part will be the hybrid electric vehicles and full cell electric vehicles. So here it is a combination of the just the IC engine and battery will be there. So but the battery is not the rechargeable. So the battery will be recharged via the IC engine. So during the braking condition, during the acceleration, so that will be recharged. And next is a fuel cell electric vehicle. So generally, it's about the hydrogen fuel cell. So the electricity that or the power that is present in the batteries. So that will be um, makes the vehicle to drive. And moreover, due to the hydrogen, the gas, the hydrogen, it won't create a much pollution towards the environment. So that will be form of the water when it releases into the air. So the hydrogen gas combines into the air and forms a water drops. So just it is the advanced hydrogen engines are coming in future. So that's how the vehicles manufacturers are working towards how efficiently we can drive the vehicle, and how we can reduce the pollutions towards the market. And the benefits of electric vehicles are environment impact, cost saving, efficiency, energy efficiency, and performance. So these are very important towards the vehicle whenever we are purchasing the vehicles. And next will be the environmental impacts. So how it will impact? It will be a zero pollution. So and it will increase the span of the greenhouse gas and the emission. And cost saving is it should be like the specification, like faster charger and more mileage. You have more cost, and less mileage and less speed and less control, it have less cost. And energy efficiency, so whatever the battery like you are using for the EV vehicle, you should have efficiency, then only the vehicle can drive, and even the increases the productivity on the EV vehicles. And towards the performance will be like the motor or the electrical inverter which we use to drive the motor, so that makes like a smooth driving. It should not create the more noise, so again it will be create a noise pollution. So you should avoid, we need to ensure that the vehicles we are making for the society, and it increases the business areas where the many customers or the users will be added, and every day or every year, every month, so that can be increased drastically. And what are the challenges and limitations? So challenges and limitations are just the problems like we faced towards the EV when it is released into the market. So that generally that will be the charging infrastructure and range anxiety and charging time, because whether it will be a 1 hour or 2 hours or 3 hours or 1 day 2 hours, that is a one charging time. So and next is a higher upward cost and more, because if you have a higher mileage and you have a higher quality, it will be high prices. So if it is a low speed, low quality, it will be the low cost. So just we cannot go with the low range mileages. So we need to ensure that the mileage should come good and the charging activity should good and performance wise good, and even the battery should come constantly. It should not drain when you use after 30 minutes or 10 minutes. It should follow some process, and limited with the modeling availability and resources constraints and grid demand and infrastructure and public perception and misunderstanding of the resale value. So that is a very big problem, because the resale value is a very less to where the battery and inverters will be there. So the batteries it have lifespan will be very less, and even the inverters and motors that can be utilized, but there is no battery. The vehicle should be modified. So that is about the resale value. So these are the some challenges towards the automotive or the on-road vehicles which related to the EV. And the adoption to and trends future on this is specifically it sale growth and model availability and government support and emerging market. So these four factors are required for adopting of the EV for the customers to the current trending. So, what are the advances in battery? Because as we know, the battery technologies are very important for the vehicle, where it is specifically used for use the carry of the power. So that can be maintained efficiently, and it should have sustainability, and it should go give good performance. And it and moreover, the model of the vehicle which we are using, so that way it will be changed. And the infrastructure is the one where it's spreaded towards all the regions, and it should uh, adaptable for the all EV vehicles. So then only the charging can be utilized by the customers, and it will be beneficial for the customer as well as the owner who maintain the infrastructure. And that is the charging stations. And next will be the part of charging types, whether it is a AC type or DC type, or whether it is a 1 hour chargeable or 30-minute chargeable or 1 day chargeable. So that charging types are very required. And network and accessibility, the people or the customer should know like where the station is, and whether the station is available at public station or at a home station. So it's essential. And moreover, the payment system. So whenever the persons get charged at some areas, you should pay some amount, like what is the hour he spent and what is the battery it is utilized, and how what is the payment he need to do. So it's all about the payment and systems. And major EV manufacturers. So many of the electric vehicles of the vehicles in the sense like the buses or the cars or anything, it comes on road. It should have some design and production. So then, and the people life activity is very important. So for that, even all the OEMs, original equipment manufacturers like Maruti Suzuki or the Tata or BMW or Bench, any part of vehicle, it should be acceptable for the established the automaker and new entrant and global presence and investment in the technology and sustainable initiative and drivers product lines. So these are the major aspects. So and the next is what will be the role of autonomous driving in the EVs? So the main is it will be a driverless vehicle. So it should charge the vehicle automatically and it should turn off and it should drive to the public sector. And moreover, it should ensure that the vehicles are driving fast. And we have the informative and infrastructure, and the navigation is a other part of area where it will drive other information where the navigation is coming to the picture. So the navigation is about the stations where it will give good informative about and where the charging will be available and what is the charging limitation it have and the whether any problem is there in the charging station or when we need to move that consumer or the customer should aware about that whether the station can be used or any traffic is there so that information should be brought is required and moreover the investment and the funding towards the electric vehicles. So the governments of the countries are they given a subsidies towards the purchasing of the vehicles for the customers. So that's all about the overview of the electric vehicles, how it is rising in future, and in the current way, how the OEMs or the manufacturers how they're working for the electrical vehicles. So just this is all about the overview section about how you need to uh, improve the EV areas. Thank you all.